right, everybody, we are back. Brand new Cabral HouseCall. First one of the weekend where we answer 5 to 6 questions every single Saturday and Sunday from the community. These questions come in. They are not handpicked. They're answered in the order they are received. Every single question gets answered. So if you ask it, we don't edit it. We ask, I should say, I read it just as is, and I give you my opinion from 25 plus years of being in the health and wellness and fitness-based industry, seeing now well over 250,000 people. And I want to share with this now over 500,000 labs run. So much data that I just want to be able to share with you. That's why we do these house calls. That, and I made a promise when I was 19 years old, visiting my first natural health practitioner, trying to overcome Addisons disease, type 2 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, mast cell activation syndrome, mastocytosis, all sorts of issues, POTS, etc. That if I figured it out, well, I would share that with others. And so that's what I try to do every single day on the Cabral concept. And the house calls are just a fun way to be able to connect with the community. So without further ado, let's dive into the questions. Just opening up the document now. As I've said before, no prep work is done, no medical advice, no medical treatment plans, no medical cures, no medical diagnosis, giving you the best place to start and find your underlying root causes. All right. First things first, let's see who's up. This is episode 3074. If you want to follow along, it's at stephencabral.com/3074. All right, Suzanne looks like she's up first. I've been taking SSRIs for several years now, and I want to stop taking them. Since I started with them, I've taken better choices for my health and now only eat raw, homemade food, exercise regularly, prioritize sleep, and take nutritional supplements. I want to try to have a child in a few years, and I've read that SSRIs can affect the fetus negatively and that there is a risk for developing heart defects in the fetus. My GP thinks it's okay to take the medication, but I have my doubts when I read and research myself. Is it possible to stop using SSRIs without impairing the quality of life? If so, how can I do it? I want to do it in collaboration with my doctor. Thank you. Best regards, Susan. All right, happy to help. So here's the thing. We've helped many women and men, just more women than men, just because we see more women in our practice, come off of SSRIs. Now, just as you said, we don't give medical advice, nor do we help them come off their SSRI. Here's what we do. We rebalance the reasons why they would not be producing or using enough serotonin in the first place. But as well, the medical industry will not tell you this. They don't even exactly know how SSRIs work. They don't. They do not fully understand how a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor works. Now, we can tell you from a science pathophysiology standpoint that basically your neurons are going to release serotonin, and inside of a synaptic cleft, the space between two synapses or neurons, you have serotonin. Sometimes in some people, there isn't as much serotonin there. So they're not able to uptake as much as they need. So therefore, going on a SSRI would allow them to keep more serotonin outside of the neuron. This is, again, baseline explanation that I'm giving right now, right? So it's in that synaptic cleft and it's not being recycled, essentially. It's left out there. The problem is many SSRIs really stop working 18 months or after 24 months, and people are often left in a worse situation. So if you need to use them in the short term, okay, but why don't we look for why this person needs an SSRI? So my highest recommendation is read The Rain Barrel Effect. It's free at stephencabral.com. You just go to stephencabral.com/free book, or although you'll find it there. And then I would run the Big 5 labs. It will look at your gut health. Remember, serotonin is produced mainly in the gut. So we want to look at your gut health. We'll look at your overall stress levels. We'll look at overall thyroid. We'll look at everything we need in order to find the underlying root cause, help build the body back, producing serotonin on its own so that you can work with your doctor to begin to slowly wean off. Okay, not quickly, but slowly wean off with your doctor. All right, so Suzanne, hopefully that's helpful. Keep hope alive. You can do it. I know you can. Many other women before you have, and I believe that you can as well. All right, Tiana's up next. Hi, always appreciate the insightful discussions you bring to light. Lately, I've been delving into the fascinating topic of Crossinology, brain integration. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this approach. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights on the podcast. Okay, yeah, happy to help. So I'm not an expert in Crossinology. I looked into it. And so let me share two parts to it. One, there's not a lot of rigorous scientific research showing that it works yet. Just want to, I'll italicize yet. I believe there very well could be and will be in the future. There's really good anecdotal evidence that it works for many children and or adults. And again, I don't do any research when you ask this question, so it's just from what I've read before. So it looks like it can work for ADD, ADHD, dyslexia, and I'm sure many other imbalances as well. And to my knowledge, again, this is just a cursory review. It was working on acupressure points of the body, almost like tapping, but obviously not the same. And it was working with applied kinesiology and a few other techniques. So all of them seem perfectly safe. I don't know how long it takes, how many sessions, that I'm unaware of, but it looks like it could be a possibility. And so I'm not against that, especially, earlier in life. I definitely recommend, if a child seems to have dyslexia or any of these things, definitely recommend some occupational therapy. I definitely like dynamic neural retraining systems. Those are great. And Crossinology could be another one, like no doubt about it. I wouldn't say that I'm an expert in the space, but I definitely think it's safe to look into, and it could be all upside. I think in this case, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't look like there's any medical interventions. This could be all upside. And then the worst case scenario is it just doesn't work. And of course, there's a financial investment, but it doesn't look like there's any negative side effects to the health. All right. Thank you, Tiana, for writing in and bringing that to all of our awareness as well. All right, Laura's up next. Hi, Dr. C. I'm slowly moving through the IHP course. I'm wondering how I will be able to do this as my job if I'm based in Europe. Equalife doesn't ship to my country, and even if I ship it to the UK or Italy and try to get it from there, the shipping from the US is expensive. Now, I know you don't charge more for shipping and try to reduce the cost as much as possible, but still, are there any plans for the future to help your IHPs in Europe implement your protocols and their practices? Maybe European-based Equalife company manufacturing products here, or a distributor here in Europe. Otherwise, they are twice the price for us. I cannot afford them even to help myself with my health problems, but so far I haven't found equivalent products here. Thank you. Yeah, Laura, I totally understand. There's the same issue in anyone that really does not share the continent, with the United States. So basically, like Canada, we get products into Canada, and even in Canada, there's stipulations, but they're just different. So, here's the truth. I always tell you, I give you the whole truth. Equalife. So I'm the founder and CEO of Equalife. I don't take a dollar out of the company, just to let you know that. Now, again, I'm not looking for a gold star. I'm not looking for a medal, anything like that. Equalife is what I always wish I had when I was sick. Equalife is a company I want to grow for the IHPs, for the world, that brings functional medicine to the world. That's my goal. I spend all profits basically reinvesting in research for new product formulations. I take those profits. I also put them into getting free labs to people for their first lab free program. There's all sorts of things we do. Just to let you know, again, I always like to pull back the curtain, and this is not for people who don't care about, the business side of it. It would cost us, so this is what happened too with Australia, $10,000 per product to get it certified by a country. So we have 140 products. That's $1.4 million a year just to get it certified. That does not count my team's time. We have close to 100 people on the team, like all the salaries, all that. It doesn't count the work that they would need to do. Strictly alone, $1.4 million per batch to get it into a country like Australia, Europe, etc. Okay, so we usually turn our product 3 to 4 times a year. That means you get fresh product all the time. But let's say we even just kept it for 1 year. Usually companies keep it for 2 to 3 years. We don't do that. But let's just say you did it once a year. All right, it's $1.4 million, not including the new team you'd have to hire, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars for new to be able to take care of all those processes. And then that does not include shipping the product, right? Or manufacturing. Now, manufacturing would be okay because we're going to offer the product, but we would have to get it there from the United States. We're not able to create it in these other countries because we would still have to ship the raw material there because a lot of these countries don't have the raw material, right? Some do, but they don't always. So there is not savings is what that's a long-winded answer, but I'm always trying to just share with you like the truth. There is no way, because we just don't have the margins. Like we don't charge what we should charge, honestly. I mean, companies on Amazon with these extremely cheap ingredients make a good amount of margin because they're making really cheap products. We don't have that. We literally would not be in business. We can't make it happen. I want to make it happen. We can't make it happen. Now, you can still be an IHP in Europe, and we have many of them. So you have clients all over the world. You can ship product. If you have clients in the United States, which many people do, you can work there. UK, Canada, Australia, we ship products in labs, Australia, New Zealand. So the best thing I can always share is to look for the ingredients on the back of the EqualLife protocols, which we open source. They're all available to the public right online. All our protocols, all our products, you can kind of look for them and you could do your best. That's always my recommendation. I wish there was an easier answer, but when there's cost involved, now if someone wants to come to EqualLife and say, you know what, I would like to pay for all of the duties and manufacturing and all that to start it in Europe, I'm all ears. I'm all about it. But I don't have that money. EqualLife puts all the money back into the research, all that. We're not able to do that. We'd love to. It's just, it's not in the cards right now. So we are a grassroots company that's a true integrative health center. Like that's what we are. We're just virtual. We just help people all over the world. So hopefully that wasn't helpful. I know it wasn't, Lara. I wish I could do better, but at least you know the truth. All right. Chamel is up next. Chamel. Hi, Dr. Rawl. I want to start by thanking you for all the work that you do in changing lives and truly in helping people to get to the root cause of their health problems. Thank you. Appreciate that. My question is about puberty-related gynecomastia. I understand the aromatase effect, elevated estrogen, estradiol, elevated testosterone, elevated prolactin, as well as the underlying health issues and medications like steroids that can cause the issue. However, I'm focused on gynecomastia caused by puberty. My question to you is, have you seen breast tissue in men shrink with taking relaxafine or tamoxifen? If so, how was this achieved with hormone balancing? Additionally, what are your thoughts about cryotherapy and cold exposure for potential treatment, as well as fasting and autophagy to shrink glandular tissue? Okay, so I know exactly what you're talking about. People that don't. So in men, during puberty, if you use anabolic steroids, some men will grow some breast tissue, basically around the nipple. And during puberty, though, some men will also get gynecomastia, which is the breast tissue growing on men, around their nipple from testosterone converting essentially to estrogen. And it's not uncommon. So here's the issue. It's difficult to get rid of because it's real tissue that was created. And so, yes, some people get results from those two medications that you named. Raloxifene, I think that's how it's pronounced, and then tamoxifen. The problem is it doesn't always work. And really, you can't just lower estrogen levels because the breast tissue's already been created. Now, having said that, when estrogen levels are elevated, the breast tissue in men is more swollen. It's retaining water. So what I would say to you is this. There's a natural product we use called Estrogen Balance that is DIM and I3C, indole 3-carbinol, diindolylmethane. And what that does is it helps remove estrogen from the body. Okay, so that's helpful. Then, so you can run a lab called a stress mood and metabolism test, look at your testosterone levels, look at your estrogen levels. I definitely recommend that. Everything's at stephencabral.com/shop. All the protocols, all the labs, estrogen balance, stress, mood, and metabolism, you name it, everything is there. That's EqualLife, that's our global practice. Okay, so what really works? What really works is doing chest exercises. So legitimately, weightlifting helps to form the pectorals to a greater degree. Not a cure-all, doesn't always get rid of the breast tissue, I should say, but also losing body fat can be absolutely helpful, and then decreasing inflammation in the body. Now, the only way for sure, it's surgery. It is surgery, and there's no such thing as minor surgery, but it's surgery, and it's minor though, but it's still surgery, right? Is to have it removed. Basically, they do a small incision around your nipple. They go in, they remove the breast tissue, stitch back up, and you're healed up. You can go back to weightlifting within about 4 to 6 weeks typically. So hopefully that was helpful. That's Yes. I don't know about cold exposure. Again, you're trying to remove tissue. So you can't remove tissue. It's very challenging. And so what you can do is lose the body fat, help to reshape the chest with weightlifting, obviously compound movements like chest presses, and even flies and dips, etc. All right. Let's get in one more question. This one is from Jessica. Jessica says, I was wondering if Labrie natural skincare products are good to use. I actually have no idea. I apologize, but I don't know every brand. And as I said, I'm not able to do research on the show, which would be me looking at the ingredients from the product. If I don't know of any of those ingredients, then looking them up at the environmentalworkinggroup.org. So like that's how I would do it. So I don't know the product. So let's get in one more question since I didn't know that one. All right, Ellie's up next. Hi, Dr. Ball. I frequently experience a sensation of thick phlegm in the back of my throat and chest. Occasionally when I bend over or lie down, I feel pressure in my upper chest. Sometimes this pressure coincides with a perceived increase in heart rate. I'm a 46-year-old female with a history of childhood bronchitis. However, I suspect this is the current issue because I have no breathing difficulties. Do you have any idea what this could be? Thanks so much for your help. All right. To me, it sounds like postnasal drip. All right. This is what it sounds like. I don't know if it's true. So could have sinus issues, could have yeast in the nasal passages, could it be exposed to mold? You bend over, the phlegm the mucus can actually move down from your sinuses, which are above your eyebrows and beside your nose, and it can move down your throat right into your upper chest. Very common. You would not be alone. It also happens when people lie down at night. It can cause coughing. It can cause the phlegm buildup, just like you spoke about. A few things that can help are using a neti pot in the morning. You can put in a couple drops of citricidal, which I do recommend because I like to kill anything that might be in that water as well. And then you can use that in each nasal passage, of course, then blow your nose, get everything out. You can use a product called Sinus Support. It's a great product. We hardly ever talk about it, but it's amazing. That Hispro alkalizing vitamin C. History of bronchitis, I get it, but you shouldn't be walking around with bronchitis. That's for sure. If you think you have bronchitis, I would go to your doctor and have them listen to your lungs. Let's see. Yeah, at least that's a place to start. All right, that's where I would start. Hopefully that's helpful. There's also something called a Nasacort spray. That's an all-natural nasal spray. You can do that once or twice a day, 2 to 3 squirts in each nostril. Make sure after 3, 4, 5 minutes, you blow everything out. And then, of course, do read the Rain Barrel Effect. You know, there's so much more to this. You probably want to do a 21-day detox if you start to feel better after that. You know, it could be food sensitivities that are creating inflammation. There's so many things that go into this, but hopefully at least that was a start. All right. Thanks, Ellie. Appreciate everybody for tuning in today. I'm going to be back tomorrow with a brand new Cabral HouseCall, answering another 5 to 6 questions from our community. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.